Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Jinex.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. How are you?
Lady in is this white?
It's white. Don't worry about it. Good morning, Ayo. How are you this morning? Perfect. You seem very happy today. Good morning. We're in celebration mood. Well, I'm happy today. Today is July 4th.
Yes. American Independence Day.
Happy Independence Day,
Congratulations.
America. Absolutely.
To the United States.
Yes. Happy 4th of July. Yes. Well, all right.
American Independence Day.
Well, all right. Good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe. In Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu met with the newly appointed security chiefs on Monday in his first meeting since their appointment on June 19th and charged them to work as a team to address the country's insecurity challenges. The country's national security advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, led the security chiefs to the engagement with the president. The service chiefs in attendance were Christopher Mustafa, the Chief of Defense Staff, Torid Lagbaja, the Chief of Army Staff, Emmanuel Ogala, Chief of Naval Staff, Hassan Abubakar, the Chief of Air Staff, and Kayode Egbetokun, Acting Inspector General of Police. In Italy, Pope Francis had condemned the burning of the Quran in Sweden last week, stating that it made him feel angry to see the Muslim holy book desecrated. Swedish police had granted Salwan Momika, a 37-year-old Iraqi national, a permit in line with free speech protections to burn the holy book, but authorities later said they had opened an investigation over his agitation against an ethnic group, noting that Momika had burned a copy of the Quran outside Stockholm's main mosque on the first day of Eid al-Adha. The pontiff, in his lamentation, said any book considered holy should be respected. Under sports, 8-time champion Roger Federer's achievements at Wimbledon will be honored by a special ceremony on Center Court on Tuesday. The 41-year-old Swiss star, who retired from tennis last year, will be celebrated before the start of play. Federer won 5 successive Wimbledon titles between 2003 and 2007, adding further victories in 2009, 2012, and 2017. His final win saw him pass Pete Sampras's men's record of 7 titles. Finally, under entertainment, Grammy Award-winning R&B star Neo and the brothers Osborne are scheduled to perform on the South Lawn of the White House, along with artist and producer DJ Nice tonight, Tuesday, July 4th, as President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden host their 3rd 4th of July celebration. Then, the chairman and editor-in-chief of This Day and Arise Group, Prince Nduka Obaigbena, joined well-wishers to celebrate the Iyalo Day of Lagos, Bintu Fatima Tinubu, who marked her 80th birthday in Lagos on Sunday, July 1st. Oh, well, I thought that we had a whole package of that. She turned 80 years old on Sunday. It was beautiful, remarkable to see. We'd like to join all the well-wishers and wishing a happy 80th birthday. Hopefully we can play that at the end of the show. Well, let's begin what's trending. The European Union Observer Mission report on the 2023 general election, which was rejected by the federal government of Nigeria, continues to generate reactions on social media. The EU Observer Mission in its report stated that the election exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signal a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability, further stating that trust in the Independent National Electoral Commission had been severely damaged, especially as a result of the failure to upload the result of the presidential election electronically. On Monday, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Festus Keyamo, in a post on Twitter, stated that there is no election worldwide without irregularities and that the EU report cannot delegitimize the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Well, Keyamo came under fire after some social media users pulled up page 92 of the EU mission report, highlighting misinformation during the general election, and Keyamo's tweet in which he alleged, by posting a link of a report claiming that the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, had paid 2 billion naira to Christian bodies as bribe. Rufai, I don't know if you saw this comment on social media.
I saw it.
With Festus Keyamo and obviously the federal government, debunking that report as So
I think my reaction is clear. I don't know what the federal government was, or Mr. Dele Alake, I should say, was debunking about the report. It's obvious they didn't, or was rejecting about the report. It's obvious they didn't read it in detail. That report was explicitly clear. And again, kudos to the EU for a good job. Empirical facts and analysis. You see, it's obvious when they read reports like this, they should go and read the methodology. Part of the argument they made that Dr. Abati enunciated yesterday was the fact that they said 11 analysts analyzed, the reports and all of that. There were some parts of the report that needed analysis based on things that were taken from many sources. So take, for instance, the report talked about how much if political parties spend on campaign online, which you can get those reports from Google AdSense. So those are the empirical facts out there. They also talked about, for all of those that used to abuse Arise TV of bias, the report exonerated Arise TV. We gave 26% coverage to the APC, 26% coverage to the PDP, 19% coverage to Labour Party, which was one of the most balanced coverage. TVC gave 53% to APC coverage. 53%. So you see, facts don't lie, because there were a lot of shenanigans. And I'm saying this, that's why I had to ask our guest yesterday to provide empirical fact that Arise was biased. But thank God the report explicitly stated all of this. And only to crown it all, Mr. Festus Keyamo, a former minister, then a serving minister of the Federal Republic, and another former minister, Mr. FFK, were found to be the bastions of misinformation online.
Yes.
How low can our ministerial positions go in this country? Because of politics? So the report was empirically clear. And all the submissions it made were things based on interpretation that were out there. Talked about the violence that was reported. Talked about coverage. Talked about participation of women in politics. Talked about the dwindling numbers. Talked about the methodology at which he did it. Empirical analysis. But why is it that people that can't even take the pain to write their own reports are the ones that are quick to condemn reports? And there were recommendations there that if we want to go forward, follow what was simply written in the Ways reports.
Yes, we have the recommendations. Well, all right.
Guard citizens even more and do the same. Help ensure that polling areas are clean. Was there no violence? Talked about, we saw the violence that happened in Lagos and other parts of the country. Did not exonerate any party, gave blame to every party necessary. The report was even so detailed to the extent that the hashtags members of various political parties used, things like hashtag Tinubu, they talked about it, hashtag Obidiot, they talked about it, and how all political parties spread hate messaging. So it was not skewed to any political party.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
all political, both APC, Labour, and PDP, were all spread hate messaging.
Yes, it was.
And he cautioned them. Yes. And how WhatsApp, and we should be careful about WhatsApp. WhatsApp can be a dangerous tool if care is not taken. How WhatsApp was used to spread a great deal of misinformation. The report stated everything clearly, not slanted towards anybody. Yeah. And they said they reject, people reject
well, Festus Keyamo was trending on social media yesterday. Let me take a tweet from JP, I believe. He wrote, breaking, Festus Keyamo and Fanny Kayode made it to page 92 of the EU report for spreading fake news on social media. EU took a screenshot of Mr. Keyamo's fake news tweet. This is a huge embarrassment to the legal profession. ASAN, spreading fake news on social media. Now I know why he has been wailing since the report came out. Ayo.
Yes, I agree that it's quite, it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing because when that kind of report from an organization that have demonstrated that they are, credible. They have a track record of monitoring elections, can slam a public official, especially a senior advocate of Nigeria. It is very embarrassing. And they had proof. One of the things we talked about is that it wasn't just a report that was written by amateurs. They gave evidence, they screenshot messages like that. And we must always remember that whether in political season, whether it's when emotions are high, when you put words out there, there's proof. And proof will outlive you sometimes, especially when you put messages like that on social media. In terms of Mr. Festus Keyamo's statement with regards to it's the courts that will determine whether this government is legitimate or not. Yes, I have to pick that out of that tweet. Absolutely correct. This report is independent, and there was a disclaimer given at the beginning of the report that this does not even represent the views of the EU. This was what the observers had seen on ground and what they were reporting based on facts. The hashtag All Eyes on the Judiciary has been trending. In fact, some people are saying perhaps they should take up a billboard and put it around so that people can see that we are watching and we are looking forward to the judiciary to give justice and be fair in their judgment. Very important. At the end of the day, this report, the way we've made it such a, of course, because of the content of it, is not the deciding factor. At the end of the day, it is the court that will determine whether or not this government is legitimate or not. And so again, hashtag all eyes on the judiciary.
All right, absolutely.
Okay, this is the way I see it. Keyamo is not the problem. It's not even the issue. Everything that Keyamo has said, what can you controvert there? He says that there are irregularities in elections in other places. Yes, you can supply so many examples in that regard. He says that it's not the EU report that will be the final word on Nigerian elections. You can't controvert that. 3, he says the legitimacy of Tinubu's election does not lie with the EU, but that the EU is an observer mission. And to the extent that we live in an international community, countries cannot just hold elections on their own and expect that the international community will not take an interest in it. So, I don't have anything to argue with regard to what, Festus Keyamo may have said in terms of reaction. The big point is that the European Union Observer Mission, like other observer missions, have submitted their reports. We had Samson Itodo on this program yesterday, and Samson Itodo of Yaga Africa told us that there's nothing that the EU has said that they too have not said, or that ECOWAS has not said. That report by the EU is not just about criticism, it's also about recommendations. Our key point is that the Nigerian government has a responsibility to look at those recommendations, 6 major recommendations, about areas in which Nigeria's democracy can be deepened and the electoral process can be reformed. Remove ambiguities in the law. You have it on the screen there. You've just put it there.
Yes.
Take another look at INEC. Ensure real-time publication of and access to election results. After all, we had issues with IREV. We had issues with the loading of results. Pay attention more to women participation. Provide protection for media practitioners. These are very serious issues. Address impunity regarding elections. These are very serious issues. But what you have brought now, that is also very important, is the role of social media.
Absolutely.
The use of social media to promote what they call alternative facts.
Misinformation.
Was it Conway that came up with that phrase?
Kellyanne Conway.
Yes, Conway that came up with that phrase in the US after an election. People providing alternative truths, which may not necessarily be true. And indeed, in that report, what the report says is the effect of fake news, misinformation, disinformation, a lot of which we saw during that election. That report at page 92, yes, cited Femi Fani-Kayode. What did Femi Fani-Kayode do? They were listing examples. They said Femi Fani-Kayode said Atiku Abubakar had a secret meeting with security chiefs, but that was not true. In the case of Festus Keyamo, they said he promoted a tweet that another platform put out to say that Peter Obi gave bribe to some church leaders, which is also not true. And they concluded on that same page, in citing examples, that a plethora of fake news on social media by Nigerians. And they cited the classical example of Aisha Binani being declared governor of Anambra State when she had not yet been declared by the relevant authority. So it's not about personalities. It's about the trend that we're dealing with. The deleterious effect of alternative facts propagated through social media by persons who have partisan interests, by ignorant people, by people who collect, how much do they pay them? 10,000, 20,000 naira to malign people, hiding under unnecessary anonymity, while we promote the social media as a platform for freedom of expression and also for self-validation and for business. What we see is that there is great danger there in terms of how it is abused by persons. While we defend the right of persons to express themselves, to have free speech, to take advantage of the technology era, what that report reminds us of is how so many people, half of them ignorant, abuse the media to malign people, to promote falsehood. That's the danger of this new technology. These are the bigger issues.
All right, then we'll take another story. Ejikeme Mmesoma, a student from Anambra State who was accused of forging her Unified Tertiary Matriculation examination result on Monday, in a video message, dismissed the allegations. Mmesoma, a student of Anglican Girls Secondary School in Nnewi, had been celebrated as the highest scorer in this year's UTME with a total score of 362. But on Sunday, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board stated that the student was not the top scorer and only scored a total of 249 and not 362 as claimed. The board said the student allegedly manipulated her result to deceive the public to fraudulently obtain a scholarship and other recognitions. JAMB also vowed to prosecute the student and others that allegedly manipulated their results. In her video message, Mmesoma said that she is incapable of forging her own result and that she had printed the said result from the JAMB portal and that the allegation has left her traumatized. Let's take a listen.
I am Ejikeme Mmesoma. And the owner of these results. I went to JAMB portal to print these results, and this is what they gave me. This is the result here. So this is my aggregate 362. This is exactly how I printed it. I downloaded it from that site. So they now saying that I forged my results is what I don't know, and I'm traumatized that they accused me of forging my own results. Because I am not capable of this forging results. This is the evidence. Okay, they say that I forged my results. They scanned this QR code there, and it showed another name, a Yoruba name, Omotola Afolabi, 138. And that same person that got 138, they checked again, the person got 338. Meaning that there is problem. There is problem somewhere. We showed all these results to Commission of Education, both this one and the SMS they sent to me. And she snapped it and sent to the JAMB official. They called back saying that this is a forged result, that I forged it myself, that the JAMB office don't have the record of this. And they called the DSS over to come to her office. The DSS, they took us to their office and we made our statements there. And they said they will contact us later, that they are going to investigate these results to know where the source came from. Instead of them to wait for the investigation to be over, they posted that I forged my results without confirming.
Well, all right, this story has caused a lot of debate on social media. I mean, Mmesoma here has stated her facts. I will take a reaction from Everest, who wrote, a glitch that happened during the whole presidential election is yet to be explained. The DSS has not helped INEC to determine the cause of the crash of presidential IREV portal, but they were quick to investigate Mmesoma Ejikeme over JAMB result, which is of national security. I mean, Ayo, you know that JAMB has restated that they stick to their story. Yeah. They say that, you know, I'll read a little bit of the excerpt from the JAMB. They said that they are reinstating their earlier position, that the UTME result being paraded by Mmesoma is fake. Consequently, the board would like to reassure Nigerians that its system was neither tampered nor compromised, as the candidate simply falsified a copy of the result slip of a candidate named Asimiyu Mariam. And they further stated that, you know, I believe that they had stopped issuing these types of slips since 2021, and that just a little scan of that QR code of that video that she showed will show that it was another person's result. But I mean, this young lady is clearly stating that she did not forge the result. She is traumatized. I just don't understand that DSS invitation as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so reading this, or just the development, is still a developing story.
Yes.
And there's a danger of a media trial, which has already started.
Absolutely.
And it is based on just it's their word, JAMB's word against Mmesoma's word. And what JAMB said was that they were conducting an investigation into this matter. What we expected was that they would desist from, or both of them at least, wouldn't say much until the investigation is concluded, so we can have a full picture. Because what we'll be doing is speculating, okay, they didn't do this based on the evidence before us, which is not in any way inadequate. On the side of Mmesoma, it must be traumatizing if indeed this allegation or accusation is false. Her reputation, she's young, the fact that she would doubt the psychological impact of this, you know, being dragged on the media, a whole institution against a 19-year-old, very huge implications. On the side of JAMB, they are trying to protect the integrity of their institution and the efficiency of the institution. And this brings me to the conversation around the institutions in Nigeria. Look at that previous tweet you just read, bringing INEC into it. The fact that we don't even trust our institutions and the transparency or the integrity of our institutions. If INEC and all the other institutions who come under the radar don't get away in court with issues like this, we won't have to question JAMB's response. If you hear the different responses from different people who have written the examination, they've talked about incidents where JAMB has made errors in different parts. So it's difficult to speak to this because the investigation has not been concluded, and there's a danger of making a conclusion without sufficient information. And so I'm hoping that we'll get to the bottom of this, because we need to understand what really happened. If Mmesoma falsified that record, then I believe that, as JAMB has said, she must pay the price. But if JAMB is at fault, I hope they'll be bold enough and full of integrity enough to admit that they made an error in this case and offer a full apology to Mmesoma. But I don't know how they'll redeem the reputation damage so far.
Absolutely. Dr. Patrick.
JAMB has said it has called for an investigation. The Ministry of Education of Anambra State has also called for an investigation. JAMB is saying that, look, from its own records, the public should go and take a look at the QR code on that result slip.
Yes.
And that QR code will reveal the identity of the exact owner of the result. And that, secondly, that the result being paraded by Ms. Mmesoma is 2021.
Yes.
It's a 2021 document that, in the current regime introduced by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, the photograph of the owner of the result is embossed into the result, and that the one she's carrying about is not her result. And JAMB, speaking through Dr. Fabian Benjamin, its spokesperson, has now said he stands by his position that this is a fraudulent claim. Incidentally, the person that JAMB identifies as the highest scorer is also from the same Anambra State. Nkechinyere Ume, who scored, we're told, 360. Okay, so this is not about ethnicity. Nobody should read ethnic meanings into it. This is not about statism, about politics in any way. It's about JAMB as an institution trying to put his feet down with regard to his functions as a standard-setting body. Number two, what may well concern ordinary Nigerians is that, is this a case of a glitch?
That's
During
what
the
everyone is
election,
asking.
there was a glitch. Okay, now people are saying, is this another technical glitch? That's the other question. 3, that question is important because is it possible to manipulate the JAM portal, as some people claim that the INEC portal was manipulated? These are the questions that the investigations will point out. So nobody should jump to conclusions yet. We're not in a position to just give any blame on emotional grounds. The investigation, the outcome of the investigation will educate us further.
So 30 seconds. What I should suggest that they should do, get a cybersecurity forensic expert to look at both claims critically and have an independent assessment that is released. When this is released, so that we can get to the bottom of this, any erring party should feel magnanimous enough to own up to responsibility.
That is it. That is the point. They
Get a
own up to it.
cybersecurity expert, that can look through the portal, look through what went up, forensically analyze what went up, and let's have an independent assessment to this.
All right. All right, we promised to bring the video of the Iyalode of Lagos. Well, let's end what's trending today by joining well-wishers to celebrate the Iyalode of Lagos, Bintu Fatima Tinubu, who celebrated her 80th birthday in Lagos on Sunday. Our ICE correspondent, Padeshola Shotingwa, was at the venue and covered the event.
As it is her custom, the Iyalode of Lagos, Bintu Fatima Tinubu, took time out to mark her birthday, and this time it is her 80th. Her birthday ceremony is usually an occasion for her to spend memorable time with her family members and loved ones. And this she did again in grand style in a Lagos location.
Mom, today you're an octogenarian, and what it means is that you're 80 years of age. Now, I think the issue about octogenarians is that you represent as a milestone of perseverance and determination. You've proven to be strong, to be resilient, to be healthy, and those are blessings without a shadow of doubt from God.
Characterized by pomp, the event witnessed an array of important personalities who described Bintu Tinubu as a mother with a large heart, a selfless personality, and a gift to humanity.
She's a woman of style and elegance. She's a very concerned and kind and caring person, and she's very much involved in the political life of the nation. She's concerned, she's involved, and she has always displayed a lot of energy, strength, to make sure that she's involved in what's going on, particularly in the political world.
We thank God for, her life. At 80, she still looks quite strong, much younger than her age. Very successful in all ramifications. And we can only pray that God will continue to preserve her for us. We are very happy, we're excited to be here, to rejoice with her and the entire Tinubu family.
Mommy is a beautiful woman inside her. When you say somebody is pure inside of her, she is, and the beautiful also on the outside. She's the mother to all of us. She will call you, she will find out how you're doing, she will pray for you, and also tell people like us that the world of politics is a tough terrain, and always there to pray for you. And then she has a foundation that has touched the lives of the underprivileged Nigeria, a foundation that has really, really blessed a lot of people. So, a mother inside out, not just to her children, not just to her biological children, but a whole lot of children.
God is there for me. On her part, the celebrant appreciated God for preserving her life to witness the 8th decade, while also appreciating everyone who has been a part of her life and also made it to the ceremony.
God is there for me, and He will continue to be with me. He will continue to be every one of you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again I say a very big thank you. Thank you for coming, and by the grace of God, when I'm celebrating
she will live long to be 90, in good health, in sound mind.
The highlight of the event was a toast by the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu.
It's my honor to propose a toast to long life, to good health, to lots and lots of grandchildren.
And a scintillating performance by the Juju maestro himself, King Sunny Ade.
Dancing her PH, I mean, she looks simply amazing. I pray I'll be like that at the age of 80. Congratulations to the entire family, really. Well, thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, all right. That's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.